his grandparents' living room. It's the Max Gonzalez Show, starring Max Gonzalez! Good evening and welcome to the show. Does one's neighborhood affect their life chances? The answer is yes. And by the end of this show, you'll understand why. Via my Neighborhood Effect project, I've come across important findings that illustrate this. I'll start by comparing the neighborhoods in my project. My neighborhood of Lyons and the unfamiliar neighborhood of Burr Ridge. For instance, are you aware that college undergrads in Burr Ridge is almost 4 times as much of that as Lyons? 4 times! Those are staggering numbers. Median household income in Burr Ridge is $118,011 compared to Lyons, which is $45,824. That's giving higher education attainment and higher income to Burr Ridge compared to Lyons. It was, however, interesting to find that even with all that wealth in Burr Ridge, there is still 6% of the Burr Ridge residents living below the poverty level, compared to Lyons with 15.2%. There's also an unemployment rate of Lyons with 7.9%, and Burr Ridge only has 1.6%. Again, Burr Ridge is ahead of the game. When speaking of one's life chances, I feel it's important to discuss hospitals, because they determine whether or not an individual who is physically harmed can survive or not. Are you aware that Lyons has no hospitals within it, while Burr Ridge has multiple? That's definitely an important factor, I believe. While traveling to Burr Ridge to get a first-hand look at the neighborhood, I also discovered another thing Burr Ridge had over Lyons was houses. Houses that were about twice the size of the ones in Lyons and in much newer condition. I found that very interesting. Although there were major differences within both of these neighborhoods, there actually were a couple of variables that had similar findings. Those variables were commute to work, family households, and crime rate. Commute to work was similar because in Lyons it was 30.7 minutes, and in Burr Ridge it was 28.6 minutes. Family households were similar because in Lyons it is 63.9%, while in Burr Ridge it is 78.8%. Crime rates was similar because both of the major crimes committed in both of these neighborhoods was theft, with both equaling 73% of the crime. Out of these variables determined, I believe median household income plays one of the biggest effects on one's life chances because it provides you with the most affordable things. It determines what you can afford, it determines what kind of schools your children can go to, if you even can raise a family, and much more. Of the variables researched for this paper, the 3 I personally chose were family households, commute to work, and crime rate. I chose these variables because I believe family plays an important role in who we become in life, and they determine many of the factors going on in our lives. I chose commute to work because I feel the farther you have to commute for work, the less accessible jobs there are in your neighborhood. Crime rates I chose because I believe it is an important factor in determining whether or not you want to live in your neighborhood or whether or not other people want to migrate to that neighborhood. I felt commuting was such an important factor that I actually found 3 academic journals with different opinions on why people commute to work. The first academic journal discussed possibly an explanation for people commuting to work actually making more money because they commute longer distances. The second academic journal I found suggests why people actually who are unemployed choose not to apply to jobs. Reasons for those were the people they may be working for, if they have access to transportation, and other reasons. My third academic journal discussed how crime rates can actually be more occurring in areas where there is more commuting because it creates more people who can become victims of crimes. For anyone unfamiliar with sociology, according to rational choice theory, humans are fundamentally concerned with self-interest, making rational decisions based on weighing the costs and rewards of projected outcome of the action. I believe this theory best illustrates choosing a neighborhood to live in. I'd just like everyone to keep in mind that no matter what the facts say, you're the one who makes the best opportunities of your life chances, and you can do anything. Thank you and have a great day.